couple of stories associated with the Rebel Yell. We didn't have a name for it for a while, and back at that period of time, you could use Rebel, and it came across well, and there was the Yahoo! Everybody screamed, so we thought that would be a great name for it. The dip on the Rebel Yell is about 5 degrees steeper than the racer at Kings Island, because I wanted the dip that the Shooting Star at Old Coney Island had. So I think it was about 50 or 55 degrees. So it goes straight down. You actually, when you came down, you couldn't see the track, and your behind left the seat. So either 50 or 55 degrees, I can't remember. But that was the thought behind the Rebel Yell. And of course, at Kings Island, the two back curves were separated. Here, because of property and Lion Country Safari, we kept them together, which made it actually more exciting because the people were very close as they came around. You could look over and see who was in the red train or blue train, whichever. So Rebel Yell was an enormous success, and I'll never forget, Kings Dominion went head-to-head with Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, and vice versa. And we were a much grander ride park, but Busch Gardens was a more aesthetically pleasing park. Shade and terrain was really beautiful down there. I couldn't say that for 20 years. It was hard to say, but the general manager of that park, John Roberts, he came up to visit me, and he wanted to see what we were building, and I strategically led him through the park to a point where we got this grand vista of the Rebel Yell. And when I came around the corner, the way we were, and let him see it, I explained it to him. His mouth came open, he couldn't talk for 5 minutes. And he was just like, oh my God, what is that? Because he had most recently been with Astro World and another park group, and nobody was building roller coasters. It was only Kings Island, when they built the racer, was the first roller coaster that had been built since 1947. So 47 to 72, there were no coasters built. So now we built the Rebel Yell. He knows he's going to be competing with that. So he was quite taken aback. However, he got me back about 3 years later when they introduced the Loch Ness Monster. And he did the same thing. I went down to see him, and he brought me around the corner, and I saw that Loch Ness Monster, and I was like this. That was really an amazing coaster. Paint job, name, marketing, location, everything. And I thought, oh boy, I don't want to compete with this thing, but we had to. I used to go down every once in a while and stand up backwards and ride it, holding on, have my assistant hold me around the legs, and we'd ride it. And we never did that with the public, but yeah, we would do that. And every once in a while, I tell the story, we'd go down into the Dodgem cars, the bumper cars, and which are driven by electric, and there's a gauge in the back, and we would always run it at about level 3. And every once in a while, before the parks open in the spring and everything, our group of management would get together, and we'd turn it up to 10, and it would juice it up to about 5 times the normal speed that the public would go around the circle. We could knock the cars over, knock people out. We were all friends, but last guy in the car won.
That's amazing.
If you're going to sell fun, you got to have fun.